So let's look at these brilliant and quite fun drummer tracks. Now, to create a drummer track, we need to go to track menu, select new track, and just over here, add a drummer that automatically plays along with your song. Sounds a little bit mad, but it's just a way of working within Garageband that they've developed in recent versions. So we have a series of drummers. We have Kyle, Logan, Anders, Max, Jesse, Ian. There's actually a good few more. And they play in different styles. So if you click on them, they tell you the kind of styles. So Kyle is influenced by modern rock, but comfortable with most genres. So instantly we select that. It's created this file here, which is Kyle playing, supposedly. So it's nice and straightforward. And that works quite nicely with our song like this. Now the thing about these drummer tracks is they're actually MIDI tracks, and that means that if I decide I don't like that drum kit isn't working with my song, I can still change the sound of the drum kit. So there's the Liverpool sound, neo soul sound, but I still get the drummer's rhythm. If I want to kind of rearrange things and mess things up a wee bit, I could say get Anders, the hard rock drummer, in. So Anders, his style is very heavy riffing rock. So we listen to this now, it's a much more open sound. Much more reverb on it. It's not really fitting with what I wanted, but I mean we could change the sound of it, the drum kit. It's a different style. We have to work with the style as we have. Now, the thing is with these, because they're MIDI tracks, they behave in exactly the same way as these green tracks here. So I can loop them in exactly the same way I could loop them before. We can loop audio tracks as well, which is very useful. We can trim them as well. Again, we can trim any loops as well. So if I move the playhead to where I want the trim to happen and press Command T, then you see it gets split like that. So that 8-bar pattern has become a 4-bar pattern. And each of these 4-bar patterns I can delete, or press Command Z to bring that back, or I can loop just that 4 bars. So they're very, very versatile, and they're quite nice creative ways of working if you want to try some different ideas. So the second that I select Ian, for example, we go to our loops, you can actually find the drummers in the drum. So here's Zach. So all of these bass tracks in the loop windows, these are all different drummers that we could incorporate into our. So zap Zach in there, see what happens. Because it's a drum track, it'll actually work properly. So can't remember what Zach's style is. Zach is spirited and explosive. There you go. That's probably got to work for this track as well. But you see, again, it's a case of how versatile GarageBand is and all the options that it's giving as well. It's modern 80s Maya-ism. Yeah, Maya's a programmer, I think. There we go. Duncan Synthpop Man. Very Kraftwerk. So yes, you get the idea. The drummer tracks were a little bit unusual to start with. Nobody had ever done it before. But again, if you think about the kind of market that GarageBand is aimed at, it's actually a lovely creative way of interacting with the software. So that's drummer tracks. What they actually are, remember, is MIDI tracks, so we can change the audio on them. We couldn't necessarily do that with an audio loop, but then we can cut them, we can loop them, we can extend, we can do all sorts of the normal editing functions with them. So that is the drum track.